I've done one of these videos before, but we've been without power for 2 days now, and so I'm going to go over the things that make living without electricity tolerable in 2025. Item number one, a generator. Okay, I had to shut the door because it's super noisy, but that generator that you just saw is from Sam's Club. It's a Black Max. It's kind of a known name, probably made in China brand. I don't even think it's a Briggs & Stratton engine, but it does have 3,500 watts of running power and a 4,500 watt start time. They're really inexpensive, relatively speaking. I want to say that you can get one of those for $500 or $600 or so. They're very heavy. They're not very fuel efficient, and they're very loud. This one in particular is difficult to maintain. The carburetor gets clogged up and you have to replace it with a cheap $20 carburetor probably once a year on Amazon. But it has saved our butts over this last power outage because it has been, like I said, 2 days, and I have been using that to run my freezer and my refrigerator, as well as my neighbor's refrigerator. So the item number two that is important in relationship, if you have a generator, is really long extension cords, heavy gauge, outdoor rated. Get some 14.3 extension cords, at least 100 foot, outdoor rated if possible, because you will need them to get to all the places inside of your house that you need to get electricity to. And this might not be anything that you can do after the fact, but I would also say that the thing that makes power outages tolerable in my neighborhood and inside of this house is having natural gas. We have a natural gas water heater, we have a natural gas furnace and a stove, and then if you have a generator and you have gas, you can have your furnace wired so that you have a plug in the ceiling and you put an outlet with a plug on the end that can run your furnace off of your generator. So for the very first time last night, I ran my whole house furnace off of the generator that was running outside because it got down to 32 degrees last night, and the furnace ran all night and kept us warm the whole time. Now, this is clearly not anything you can do after the fact, but if you're looking at houses, get one with a gas furnace, because you can run a gas furnace with a generator. And of course, if you've got a gas furnace, then you've got a gas stove, which has an electric igniter, but you turn on the gas and light it with a flick lighter. You can cook on your cooktop and have hot meals, and you can do something like this. This is how Ann made her coffee this morning. Boil some water in a pot, dump it in this filter, boom, hot coffee. Some of the other things that we have that are really great. This was a gift from my mother. This is a little solar powered battery pack, currently being charged off the generator instead of in the sun, but you can leave this thing out in the sun, get enough charge to charge up your phone, and then you'll need your cables for doing your watch charger, etc. And then this little thing I keep in my car and keep it charged up. This thing's really nice to have because you can jump start your car with it. You plug this thing in, keep it in the trunk, but it also has 2 USB ports, and you can also use that to charge up your phone and your watch or anything else that you've got. Since we have no internet, the only way to find out if we, oh, by the way, this is a Mophie. But yeah, it's the only way that we can find out what's going on with the power is to use our phone since our home internet is out. Another thing that's nice to have is chickens. Chickens lay eggs that don't need to be refrigerated. You can leave them on your countertop and you can cook on your gas stove and have eggs when you want it. This is related to the generator. So like I said, these things have a tendency to not get used very often, and this type of fuel will keep your carburetor from getting clogged. The biggest problem with this is that it's like $25 a gallon. So when you store it, you pour this in the generator and you run it for 10 minutes on this fuel, and that cleans all the water and gunk out of your carburetor. And I would say some of the next items is having a pile of these batteries charged and ready to go. You know, I've got a Ryobi, but you could use any of your DeWalt or Milwaukee tools, and then just have a pile of useful things like this giant LED torches. It's like 1,000,000 candle power, but this will light up a whole room. You slap that thing in there and it'll run for hours. And while your generator can be hooked up to your gas furnace to keep your house warm, when this happens in the summertime with the storms, it's not going to run your air conditioner. So if your ceiling fan isn't working, then having a Ryobi battery powered air cannon fan, that thing will run all night on one of these big 4 amp hour batteries, and it will keep you cool. Just point it at the bed, and it's as good as a ceiling fan, and it will save your life when it's super hot. Okay, last but certainly not least is you need a good light to light up your house when your power's out at night. And this is a Harbor Freight, I think is where we got this thing. It's a Luminar outdoor, runs on 2 AA batteries. It's got this, hard to operate one-handed, but basically you slide this thing up. It's got an LED light inside of it. If you have a hook, you can hang it up here. Sometimes we set it up on top of our fridge. Lights up the whole kitchen. Runs on AA batteries, and it's pretty amazing. And I think you get these things at Harbor Freight for just like a couple of bucks. I think they're like $5 or something. But these things are fantastic, and really couldn't live without it during power outages. So there you go. Those are the things that make living with a power outage pretty easy. Get some of these chickens, and they'll lay some eggs for you that don't need to be refrigerated. Isn't that right? Hopefully the power will be back on soon.